Ladies and gentlemen, this is breaking news, and it's huge. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. President Trump is about to win a major $20 billion victory, a lawsuit that he filed against CBS for deceptively editing Kamala Harris's 60 Minutes interview. You will hear and watch. You will see the interview in a couple of seconds. But check this out. The Times Paramount board clears possible path for settling Trump's 60 Minutes lawsuit. Financial Times, Paramount ready to settle $20 billion Trump lawsuit against CBS News. Mother Jones, Trump's mob-like shakedown, a scandal story. Yes, Trump has had to deal with the Steele dossier, which was purchased by Clinton and the DNC. Perhaps Mother Jones knows a thing or two about that document literally purchased by Trump's direct political rivals to create a new Cold War and McCarthy-era scare. Wall Street Journal, Paramount leaders discuss settling Trump's lawsuit. Paramount inches, LA Times inches towards settling Trump's $20 billion 60-minute lawsuit. LA Times, Paramount inches towards settling Trump's $20 billion 60 Minutes lawsuit. And then you have resignations at CBS. 60 Minutes chief resigns. An emotional meeting. It was very emotional. Oh my goodness. No longer can we skew and twist coverage towards helping the Democratic nominee after, by the way, Biden won his primary. They tried to make the Democrat look good. They tried to edit out the endless word salad that AOC and Harris and Schumer and Pelosi are known for. And they tried to tip the scales of American democracy. The same democracy Democrats care so much about. If you don't believe me, watch this. This is unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. This is huge. Share this everywhere.
Trump sued CBS for $10 billion, and it looks like they might settle. But before that happens, the FCC released the full interview, unedited, and we have the tape. They talked for an hour and left a lot out. Here's an answer that never made air. Watch.
I'm trying to understand how it is that with this emphasis on the border, the numbers of crossings quadrupled under the first 3 years of the Biden-Harris administration. How did that happen?
There are a variety of factors that relate to what we have seen globally and what we are not immune from at our own border in terms of what we have seen in terms of surge of immigration and irregular migration. And there are solutions at hand, but we've got to have leaders who are solution-oriented, which we've been and are.
Irregular migration, the great 90s punk band. This is typical of Democrats who don't believe anything that they say. Harris had no desire to prevent undocumented immigrants from entering the country. Democrats had zero desire to do so, okay? They tried to pretend that there were other factors involved. CBS News knows that these candidates, Democratic Party candidates, need to be propped up. Democrats have a symbiotic relationship with media. Media is an extension of the Democratic Party. This is not hyperbole. How many people at the Washington Post or the New York Times or MSNBC or CNN are wearing Make America Great Again hats at office functions? No, they're not. The average, wonderful, highly educated, morally superior journalist despises President Trump. Okay, the news coverage will say Maryland man instead of undocumented immigrant accused of crimes. Okay, it won't. The news coverage will say migrant. It will not say undocumented individual who was accused of crimes and who broke certain laws. The news coverage consistently tries to disparage Trump, yet he still won the popular vote, and help the Democratic Party succeed and win. That's why You saw the resignation. That's why Paramount wants to settle. This is a huge victory for President Trump. Let's continue.
CBS also cut out their host pressing Kamala on how she's going to pay for all of her giveaways.
If all of this makes so much sense, why has this not been done? You're dealing with a Congress that is divided, that many are in opposition to not only you but your policies. So how are you going to make this come true?
Bill, if I approached my life as though, well, it's never been done before, therefore it cannot be done, I wouldn't be sitting here in this interview with you. That's the truth.
The constant laughing also. It's great to laugh and show emotion. But if you're always laughing and if you're always laughing and showing this kind of, almost false confidence and not answering questions in a direct manner, now CBS will say, hey, we asked Harris tough questions. How on earth could this be viewed as helping Harris's campaign? These are normal questions that Trump is asked all the time, that any politician in Harris's position would be asked. The fact that these were, clear, concise questions that any politician would be asked isn't proof that 60 Minutes was being unbiased or objective. By the way, the segment is up for an award pertaining to editing. Okay, it was so wonderfully edited that it's up for an award, but the endless word salad is what Harris and other Democrats, AOC, Pelosi, what they're known for. They don't believe what they say. They don't want single-payer health care. They don't want a Green New Deal legislation. They don't want to reform or amend or, challenge existing immigration laws that Trump is enforcing. They want to talk about due process. Well, due process can't last 20 years per individual. And if you want to protect undocumented immigrants, for example, instead of Van Hollen and others flying to El Salvador, they can actually reform existing immigration statutes. They wouldn't do that. They would never do that because they want to take back the House in 26. So you can tell that Harris that truly doesn't believe anything that she says, just like Democrats don't truly believe what the hysteria, the apoplectic preaching and condemning and lecturing. When an unarmed supporter of President Trump, a woman, her life was taken in January of 21. She was an unarmed woman. The ACLU didn't take up her cause. You better believe the ACLU would have taken up the cause of an unarmed, God forbid, an unarmed left-leaning demonstrator. I mean, there are a million different examples of double standard. Okay, they're not going to deceptively edit an interview with Trump to make him look good. It's the opposite with Trump. They'll try to make Trump look bad. And so you can't have, if Democrats and wonderful, morally superior liberals care about democracy so much, there should be an emphasis by them on making the media playing field level and even, instead of simply parroting Democratic Party talking points and trying to make the Democrat look wonderful and always deceptively editing Trump and, lying about things he says. See, they're lying about what Trump says and what Democrats say. The difference is that they're lying to not show you all the things Democrats say, and they're lying to prevent you from seeing all the things that Trump says.
Then 60 Minutes tossed Kamala a big fat softball, and she swung and missed.
The most basic of questions. Why do you want to be President of the United States?
There are many reasons, but probably first and foremost, I truly believe in the promise of America. I do. And I love the American people. We are a people who have ambition and aspirations and dreams and optimism and hope.
That's why you want to run. That's why you want to be
That's why I'm
president.
running.
Biden won the primary. They asked Ted Kennedy this years back. He answered in the same manner. Actually, his answer was worse. He was shocked by it. Democrats run a political machine. And so Harris wanted to run because Biden was one fry short of a Happy Meal, and George Clooney and others and Hollywood wrote letters, and you know what? He had to go. Just like Bernie Sanders was cheated, but what they did to Biden was a million times dirtier. Hit subscribe to this channel right now. Trump's about to win a huge media settlement. He's going after all the people who lied about him in media, okay? ABC News, CBS next. He's going to go after CNN and MSNBC legally for lying about him soon. Hit subscribe. Thank you.